Thanks, Dr. Barrasso, Senator Barrasso, for hosting this event. And I want to thank my colleagues for coming down to the Rio Grande Valley. This is, I think, about the seventh trip Senator Cruz and I have hosted for our colleagues. I think what they learn is that it's a little more complex than meets the eye. Not only are there millions of jobs supported by binational trade with Mexico, it's an important part of our economy in the United States. But the problem is President Biden has outsourced our immigration policy to criminal organizations. I say that because the 8 million who have come across the border continue to do that in record numbers because they know they're going to be able to make it into the interior of the United States. What the Border Patrol tells us, and they are the experts, they say there's no consequences associated with illegal entry in the United States. And these criminal organizations that smuggle people and drugs are smart. They know how to exploit our system. They know how to exploit our broken asylum system where people can travel through safe third countries and then claim a credible fear of persecution and be released into the interior of the United States. And then there are the tens of thousands of people that the Biden administration has simply released as a border management policy. In other words, they've created a turnstile by which people can go into the interior of the United States and stay probably for the rest of their lives, even though they don't make a claim of asylum. That's what they call humanitarian parole. But it's being abused. It's supposed to be used on an individual case-by-case basis, not to release mass numbers of people into the interior. And then, of course, as Dr. Barrasso said, the point is they don't really know who these people are. They certainly don't know who the gotaways are. More than 1.5 million, maybe approaching 2 million people who've been detected on cameras and other sensors, but who've evaded Border Patrol. You've got to wonder whether they have a good reason for running away from law enforcement. Are they carrying drugs like the fentanyl that took the lives of 71,000 Americans last year alone, the leading cause of death among young people 18 to 45. We know where it comes from, and it comes across the U.S. border into the United States from Mexico. So as I said, these criminal organizations are very smart. They flood the zone with people, taking many of the Border Patrol agents off the front lines because they have to do administrative duties and process these migrants so they can then be released. But they're not there to stop the drugs and stop the potential criminals and terrorists who are coming across the border. What's happened on October the 7th in Israel is a reminder that terrorist organizations can strike at any time. And while we know on September the 11th, 2001, 19 terrorists killed 3,000 Americans, we know that there have been hundreds or more of people on the terrorist watch list that have been detected at the border, but we don't know how many more, and the Biden administration can't tell you, made it their way safely into the interior of the United States. In the Rio Grande Valley, we were told that recently that migrants from China, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Nigeria, and other countries across the globe came to the border and were released by the Biden administration in the United States. This is dangerous, not only to Americans here living in the heartland of the United States, but also to the migrants themselves who are abused by the cartels, who care nothing about them as human beings and who view them merely as a commodity. So appreciate our colleagues coming back to the border with Senator Cruz and myself, and being able to come talk about what they saw and what they learned in a way that hopefully will help us enact policies that will protect the United States of America. Senator Cruz.